レーシングスピリット R インテグラ タイプ R ホンダベルの
Alright, welcome back everybody, Maiton Films, and today we're going to be talking about why I'm storing my car in Japan for like another 15 months. My car is a Honda Integra Type R 1996, and I bought it in Japan about, I want to say like 6 or 7 months ago. And a lot of people seem to be confused as to why I'm not importing it now, why I'm waiting almost 2 years for this car to be imported. Like, who could wait 2 years for a car to arrive, you know? And there's a few reasons why I did it this way. So if you guys didn't know already, I've actually been watching the prices, by the way, for a long time. But if you guys didn't know already, 90s, there's like a 90s boom right now of all Japanese classic cars, especially tuner cars that are rising in price right now, like exponentially. The GTRs, the Skylines, it's a main example. RX-7s, Supras, NSXs, any primetime car that you can think of that was hot back in the 90s is skyrocketing in price right now. So a lot of people are doing this for profit, myself included. And basically people are buying these cars in Japan, storing them, and then by the time they're legal, they import them, and then they sell them for profit or keep them and then hold them for a few years and then sell them to make some sort of money off of them, because this is what people do. You know, you buy your car, you enjoy it, and then you get rid of it. I've been watching the prices for Integra Type Rs and Civic Type Rs since about 2014, 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. I want to say like 2015 is a good number because that's when I was like really interested in importing one, and that's when I was watching a lot of Pacific Coast Auto videos. The prices back then for Integra Type Rs on Trade Car View, so these are dealer prices, not auction prices, was about, I think, $3,000 to like $5,000, right? And back then I'm saying to myself, wow, you know, that's an amazing price to pay for an Integra Type R. But had I stored it back then, even though I didn't have anybody to store it through, it would have cost like another, I want to say, it would have probably cost just in storage fees, probably about $4 to $5 grand just to store it. And the reason why I didn't buy it back then, like I said, is because I had nobody to store it through. Montu Motors, I believe, in Florida has like a program where you can store vehicles with them, but I contacted them around the same time when I contacted GarageFen. They still have not responded to me yet. So, you know, I can't be asked to bother with a company if they're not going to at least reach out and say something, right? And then there was GarageFen. So the reason why I went with GarageFen was because they've been in business for quite some time, actually. And Tommy Yefia, another fellow YouTuber, bought and imported a Skyline GTR from them. So I'm like, okay, well, if a YouTuber bought something from them, then chances are they're pretty legal, right? They got their website and everything, and they just started dealing with international customers, and they're doing pretty well, actually. So if anybody wants to, you know, import a car, I'd say go through them because they make it really easy. They're pretty legitimate. So that was a side note. That's why I'm storing my car, because if you buy your car right before it becomes legal for import, chances are the car is going to be extremely inflated in price. Extremely. Usually what happens is when you buy a car in Japan and you ship it here, if the car just became legal, the price is going to be way at the top, and then you're going to enjoy the car for maybe a few months, maybe even years, and then the price is just going to kind of dwindle, and then eventually it'll just plateau and just be at a flat rate. So you're going to lose a little bit of money if you ever plan to sell it down the road. So what people do is they import, or they buy their cars way before they're even, eligible for import, store them, that way they can kind of, sit for a little bit and they don't have to worry about the price. And then when they import it, all the other cars are exponentially shot up in price while theirs stayed at a flat line because they bought it who knows how many months ago or years ago. Storage is actually really cheap. So storage costs about, I want to say, like $75 to $100 if you want to store it outdoors, and then indoors is probably going to be like a few $100s, maybe $200-300. So I mean, outdoor storage, it literally will just sit at the port or sit in like a back lot somewhere at a company's shop. So it's really, safe. Japan's really safe. Nobody's going to actually steal these cars. There's cameras everywhere. And it'd be really difficult for somebody to steal a car, considering that it's in a giant lot with a bunch of other cars, especially more expensive cars. The reason why I did it this way is because I wanted to be 100% legal. I wanted to be able to bring my car in legally, not have to have any issues, and be worry-free. So if I ever get pulled over or a cop sees me and he's, you know, something doesn't look right on my car and he wants to pull me over and see whatever papers I got for it, by all means, I could just be like, okay, here you go. Here's the papers and we're good to go. I don't have to be worried because, you know, I want the complete legal route. So if you don't go the legal route, what happens is you could possibly get your car crushed. You're probably going to serve some sentence. It's probably going to be a felony, and you're going to get your car crushed most likely. So I don't want to have to deal with that. But one way people avoid this whole 25-year rule loophole is they go through the show and display loophole or law or rule, whatever. And this basically states that the car has to be of historical significance. So like the 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR V-Spec 2 or V-Spec is completely legal for import into the United States, and it is, you know, okay to drive over here. But like a 2000 Skyline GTR is not. It is not eligible for import, and it's not on the list. So there's a huge list, I think about of 70 to 100 cars that are eligible for import under the show and display law, and if the car is not on that list, you basically cannot get it. But I think one way around this is you have to prove to the United States or somebody, some part of the government or somebody, you have to prove that the car is, you know, significant and was made in limited quantities. I think you have to contact the manufacturer to prove that, and that alone is pretty difficult because I don't even know how you would even go about that. So yeah, it gets really tricky. And to be honest, I really don't want to go through all of that because by the time I'm done dealing with that, it'll probably be less than a year by the time I get my car anyway. So yeah, that's that. And since I have a 96 Integra Type R, there was like 9,000 of those made. So that's not really a limited quantity car. So like it's not gonna be eligible for import anyway. So that's the whole reason behind why I'm storing my car in Japan, mainly to keep the price low and yeah, be 100% legal. So that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys in the next one.